Hello, we're just about to enter our live stream on homeostasis. Don't forget to go to my website, sign up for my newsletters, and follow me. Instagram, Facebook, InsightTimer, and YouTube. Thank you. Let's go. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, 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 welcome to today's live stream. Today we are going to be talking about homeostasis. Homeostasis. What is homeostasis? What does homeostasis do with humaning? That's what we're going to discover today. This topic was requested by you, by somebody. I don't remember who. I was going to look it up on a live stream, and it at first created pause. But then when I really thought about it, I thought this is really going to be interesting, what we collectively come up with respect to how we truly want to live life. Homeostasis is a scientific term, and if anybody has any context that they want to share, go for it. But really, it is the state of steady internal physical and chemical conditions maintained by living systems. I typed it in the window. I don't have this memorized. This is the conditional of optimal functioning of the organism. Optimal functioning. And it includes many variables such as body temperature and fluid balance and being kept within certain pre-limits. And our bodies are naturally maintaining homeostasis. So I don't want to get too scientific on it because this is not my domain. But what's interesting is really looking at, hello Angela, hello, I hope you are doing well. I don't know if you're on the road still or back home, but it's so nice to have you. It's really going to be interesting to talk about what homeostasis means. Not scientifically, because we know now it really is about regulation, and really if it's regulated, it's alive, and it's not regulated, it's dead. And our body, what I thought was interesting when I was reflecting on the topic, our body is naturally in homeostasis. Always on the road, I'm a truck driver. Well, Angela, I'm glad that you're able to be with us and that you have flexibility in your time as you roam and ride through the roads. Fantastic. So homeostasis. So I thought, let's talk about this. How is it that we, extrapolating the topic towards us, our bodies are physically in homeostasis. Our bodies are. We've got our temperatures are regulated, our heartbeats, our thyroid, I don't even know, I don't want to list everything, but you all know what I'm getting at, about our blood pressure. Naturally, our bodies are in homeostasis, and we're alive, and we're breathing, and we're doing things unconsciously, subconsciously. Our body is functioning for us. But if we want to apply this to our living life, let's have fun with it. Sporty Jen, good afternoon. It is an interesting topic, and I'm not sure how to talk about this one. Well, this is how I'm going to make it. I'm going to human this for us. This is really human. Homeostasis is maintaining, regulating for optimized living. To live. In a physical term, it's for us to maintain and regulate ourselves despite external conditions to survive and to live. Sporty Jen, there's an element of balance in it. I actually wrote some of the words that I was reading when I was defining what homeostasis is. Stability, optimal functioning, self-regulating, adjusting to external factors, survival, living. Success equals life, not success is death. So then I said, okay, how do we want to extrapolate that emotionally? Balance, which I been really thinking about the word balance and that meaning of balance and whether or not or what type of balance I want in my life and what balance really means and what societal's balance is. And I haven't really firmly reached a strong conclusion yet, but I do know that sometimes I like the word and sometimes I don't like the word. I like flow, I like allowing, I like surrender, I like acceptance, but what is the emotional equivalent of homeostasis? How do we want to feel? How do we want to feel despite external? So the world is going on around us and the world has lots of noise. What are these noises that we're dealing with? We're dealing with relationships, we're dealing with work, we're dealing with traffic, we're dealing with money, we're dealing with life. What is it that we're dealing with? And what are the external conditions that we're dealing with? We talk about them all the time. We talk about difficult personalities. We talk about dealing with family. We talk about everything. We talk about our physical being, our self-image, our health. We talk about fear of death. We talk about all of this stuff. This is all external. So the external world is happening around us. The external world is happening around us. So how do we want our internal world to feel? How do we want to feel despite what's going on around us? And really, this topic is very similar to staying grounded despite what's going on and about us. And it really is, how do we want to feel despite what's going on around us? Mary Alice, I'm so glad to be here. I live in a chaotic environment. Beautiful. That drives me nuts. Fantastic. As I'm an HSP who craves calm. Beautiful. Calm, quiet, planning, who struggles with the incoming stimuli. Fantastic. So what we really want to do is, how do we filter through all of that incoming stimuli to feel what Mary Alice wants to do? Calm. Is it the internal calm or the external calm? Quiet. Is it the external quiet or the internal quiet? And what is it that we're trying to feed? And really is, how do we remove that external noise? The noise is going to exist. We are humans living in a very human world. There's animals, there's nature, there's thunder, there's tornadoes, there's earthquakes, there's life. There is life. Even if there's no human life, there is life that's not always stable. So when that external world is happening, what do we want our internal world to feel like? So Mary Alice started, and Sporty Jen is following, and just put in there, what do we want to feel? Sporty Jen, authentic, beautiful. Love these words. Authentic. 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 Real. Honest. Honest. Integrity. I love the word integrity. I just love the word integrity, because integrity means being true to myself, which is honest, authentic, and real. Calm. Calm. I love the word calm. Grounded. Grounded. I love the word grounded. I love the feeling of being grounded. Being grounded. Rita saying the same thing. Tethered. Tethered is just sort of grounded. Anchored. Anchored. And again, we talked about the bamboo. The bamboo is such a strong wood, but it flows with the wind and it goes with it. So it's not rigid like a brick, but it just sort of flows, but it's tethered in there. It's not going anywhere. It's strong. Nancy, content. Oh, the feeling of just being content. It's just even sometimes stronger than happy, because it's just so, there's a peacefulness to contentment that it's just satisfaction and appreciation and, oh, Gary, just peaceful and calm. Just peaceful and calm. So really what we're talking about when we're talking about homeostasis is like, the world's going to happen. And we talk about it all the time. The world of our partners, the world of our family, the world of our children, the world of our careers, the world of our academia, the world of our bank accounts, the world of our houses, the world of our how we were raised. There's so many worlds that we talk about. So the world is going to happen. And this is what we always give compassion to. This is humaning. This is our natural conditioning. This is our living. So but how do we want to grow and tether ourselves internally? What do we want to be connected to? What do we want to achieve? I'm actually starting to write my newsletter for next week, and it's all about what's inside. Everything you need in life is within you. Everything you need in life is within you. Everything. And that is synonymous with love. And I'm giving it away, but it doesn't matter, because everything, we like to hear it and hear it and hear it again. It's all within us. So the external world is here to drive us into the internal, and to recognize that all we desire and all we need is internally in there, internally. And that's so interesting, because what did we talk about last week? Wasn't it last week, or was it the week before? Igniting our inner light, which is being present, which is when we're present and we decide we're present, we're calm, we're at peace, we're we're grounded, we're illuminated, we're radiating. Oh, how does that feel? How does that feel? Irie, equanimity. Am I saying that right? Neither craving or averting, accepting life as it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. And that really having that sweet taste of unconditional acceptance is so fabulous. And it just reminds me of that word content that Nancy said, that contentment of just sitting, and whether it's with your tea, have lipstick on that side, with your tea, or sitting in the woods, walking in connection with somebody, really doesn't matter. Just having that sense of contentment at work, at play, with friends, alone, just amazing, just amazing. And the beauty is everything we desire is within us. Do you all believe that? Do you believe that everything we desire, that everything we discussed is in us? Or do you believe it's outside of us? What I really love about this Insight Timer community is that you're all so real. And I listen to other teachers and other blogs and other followers, and they're looking to like manifest this and create this and do this, and I want this. And in here, it really is so beautiful to talk about wanting authenticity and being honest and calm and real and tethered and content and peaceful and calm and I can't even say it, Irie, but just accepting life is as is and finding that internal peace, So I'm going to ask the question again, and I would like engagement. I love engagement on it. Do you believe that what you desire in life is within you? Do you believe that? That's no different than the light question I asked you that said, can you feel your light? But then it was a bit too literal, and then we got a bit too philosophical and too literal. But do you believe? Do you believe? Angela said yes, and Sporty Jen, I think that it's in there, but we have to understand what it is we have to allow us to be truly happy. Fantastic, Sporty Jen. And what I'm going to say, what you said in Cliff Notes is, yeah, I think it's in there, but my conditioning has taken me away from it. I'm not connected to it. And what we're going to do is keep on muscling and muscling and muscling until we connect to it. So this is what I'm going to ask. When are you connected to it? When are you connected to that fullness, that internal, that everything that you want inside, that calm, that peace, that contentment, that feeling of being tethered or grounded, that authenticity, the realness, your honesty, your calm? What are you doing? Gary, perfect. So when I feel love, happy, connected in a genuine way, yes, what are you doing, Sporty Jen? Gary, Angela, Irie, everybody. Rita, what are you doing when you feel what you want when you want to feel tethered? What are you doing? Do you ever have moments of feeling tethered? And what are you doing? Nancy, when you're content, and everybody, I'm asking everybody, but Nancy, do you have feelings of contentment, and when? What are you doing? Gary, peaceful and calm. What are you doing? Where are you? I can say that my morning yoga, I'll have moments. Rita, I don't know what it feels like. Okay, fantastic. So now we know what we're going to do today is we're going to get at the feeling collectively. Oh my God, I get so excited when it becomes clear from the beginning what we're going to do. Nancy, not doing anything, just being. Okay, so Nancy is giving us a clue, and it's so interesting that we're getting straight to what igniting our inner light is. It's about being present, just being. And it's that word of what Irie said, it's just accepting. It is what it is. We don't need anything to be any different. That once we recognize that every moment is exactly as it needs to be, boom, it's beautiful. Okay, fantastic. Sporty Jen, I am feeling free to open to any possibility and feel alive. Fantastic. So do Nancy, meditation, wonderful. So I'll talk about some of the tools that I use when I want to connect it to being. The first tool, and we'll do it right now, and we do it so many times, is just breathing. Breathing is one of the things our physical bodies do in homeostasis. You guys know me, I'm going to keep bringing up what the subject is so we could tie it back to what our topic is. We breathe instinctively. We breathe. Our bodies is breathing. We don't even have to think about it, and we're breathing and we're alive. Our blood is flowing, our oxygen is, we are breathing. But when we start to breathe consciously and really look at our breath and taste it and become aware of it, it's a really immediate way of getting into this feeling of being. And we might not jump to contentment right away. We might not be able to jump to some of these places right away if we haven't calibrated to that feeling, but we could start with feel awareness. Awareness is the gateway. Wow, I'm going to say this in a way I've never said it before. Awareness is the gateway to every feeling we want to feel. Awareness is the gateway. It is, boom, the golden gates. So let's do it together. Let's start. Okay, everybody, from wherever you are, if you want to open your eyes or close your eyes, it doesn't matter. Take a deep breath in. And just feel the sweetness of the air as it enters, if you're breathing in from your nostrils, if it enters your nostrils. And just pause. Enjoy that infinite nature. And release. Okay, we just took one breath. Usually we take 3. We just took 1. Does everybody already feel different? Is there already a shift in how you're feeling? What is the taste and the sensations that you've gotten by just taking that one breath consciously and slowly? What is the change? What's the shift? And I'm going to take us on a ride of a second breath, and either take a breath or answer the question. Take a deep breath in. Enjoy that. The sensations in your nostril. Usually the air is cooler than your insides. It should be cooler. Enjoy the gap. And release. And when you release, you should note that that air is warmer than when it arrived. Your body actually heated it up. And just for giggles, let's take a third breath in. Enjoy the sensation of bringing it in. If there's noise around you, see if you could see that as music. That the sensations are actually external conditions which are teaching you to focus and calibrate to your internal. And that's all part of the sensations, the music, and your current being. And it's just okay. That conditions don't need to be perfect for you to connect with your infinite self. They just need to be, and it's just a matter of your own personal focus to connect you with your body. And release. Sporty Jen, quieter inside, less affected by thoughts. Fantastic. So breathing, breathing, breathing. And you know, breathing is so accessible, but it's just so funny how even I forget to breathe. I forget to breathe. I'll be like feeling overwhelmed by a sensation. Something will happen that will upset me. And I forget that I have my breath as an option to really help me just ground, disconnect from my mind, and become aware and feeling to my body. Okay, how does everybody feel? How does everybody feel? What else do you do to feel in flow and connect with your internal? I know friends of mine that bike and sports, all different type of sports. For me, my yoga, my morning yoga, I've talked so much about my yoga, and just simple. I just do the Tibetan, what is it called? The Tibetan, the 5 Tibetan exercises, and I do the sun salutation 3 times, and it just wakes up my body, and I just feel so sometimes I go and I'm doing it mechanically, but the times that I don't and I'm really feeling it, fantastic. Gary, what really feels like freedom to me is when we can be listening to a conversation with total presence and completely concentrate on what that person is saying, no matter how trivial. Beautiful. Beautiful. Gary, totally agree. And sometimes I find myself thinking, sometimes I'm thinking of the response, sometimes I'm thinking about something else, although I'm being talked to, and I realize, wow, I have another being that's special to me, and really connecting with this conversation and being present for it just is so much more satisfying, gratifying, intimate, happy, loving than doing anything else. And sometimes, again, it just takes that awareness of like, oh, there's so much joy in this conversation when I'm really truly connected to it. And so let me ask you, Gary, and everybody, when you are in conversation and you aren't totally present, I hate being half there. So when you are half there, Gary, and everybody, where's the other half? Where is the other half? And why is the other half where it is? So let's go to that. Let's figure out what that resistance is that's keeping us from being totally present when we have our loved ones, and even if they're not loved ones, but anyone, even at the grocery store, when you're checking out, are you on the phone or are you present with somebody that's checking you out? Are they present with you? And can you tell a difference when they're present with you or not present with you? Nancy, breathing brings me home, to my heart home, my only home. Beautiful, beautiful. Breathing is just so special, and I don't know why sometimes I forget. Oh, Manal, just breathe. Square breathing is such a fantastic one, where you take the same amount, 3 to 5 seconds, 7 seconds, whatever it is, in, pause, out, pause. We'll do it right now after we go through. Gary, I hate being half there. Ruminating or worrying. Beautiful. Worrying. And what does worry mean, Gary? What is ruminating and worrying mean? What does that mean? Let's get to the root of it. Rita, resistance for me is that my happiness depended on my son. Is that my son? Because you wrote S-O, who ultimately discarded me. Okay, beautiful. So there's external. That's an external. So again, we're talking about the homeostasis, which is regulating yourself for optimal performance despite what's going on external to you. So Rita, you're aware that your happiness depended on your son, or your SO, who discarded you, or whatever that SO is, and that's something external. So now you have the opportunity, which is what homeostasis is in how do I self-regulate again to be back into alignment, which we talked about, which is contentment and joy and ease and peace and all of these words, despite that external. So let me ask you, Rita, what is the feeling that you feel? What is it that you feel? Ray, it's not wandering around in a stupefied haze. Beautiful, Ray. You went straight to it. Sometimes we're just oblivious and disconnected. And again, what is keeping you? Why are you there? Why are you there? Is it physical? Is it emotional? Is it mental? So some of the things are alluding that it's mental, but is it physical? Is it emotional? Let's get to it. Because we all want the same thing. We all talk about wanting to be connected internally, and we all talk about that there is something that's keeping us from it. Let's get to it. So Rita, yours is emotional. Fantastic. Then what we need to do is connect with your emotional. We need to connect with it and stop ignoring it, because the more you ignore it, the more it's going to keep you from being focused on what it is that you want. Ray, beautiful. For Ray, it's mental disconnect. Fantastic. Gary, it means I'm stuck in the past or the future. Fantastic, Gary. So again, is that mental or emotional? Is it fearful or mental? Or have you merged the two that you don't know? I love this. I love this. Oh my God, I love this. Sporty Judd, sometimes a conversation triggers another thought or memory, which distracts you from where you are saying. It's hard to steer you back to the present moment with them, so you're not fully in the moment. This is fantastic. This is so fantastic because we're all talking about resistance and we're recognizing that it's in different bodies and it can move between the different bodies, which is why we love our deconstructed key lime pie. And we're also talking about being present. So every time we come back to being present, being present, being present. And again, I'm going to just offer. I'm going to offer. And I want everybody to tell me if they're in or not in. Every resistance that we have is teaching us to be present. So this is all a gift. If we hold it as a gift, then we recognize the gift and we learn how to teach us to be present. And to be present is opening up the door to infinite feelings of everything we discussed. I wish I had a blackboard here that I could write down everything when we say it. That contentment, that honesty, that authenticity, that realness. All of those words, all of them are present within us. We agreed. All of them are here. And the conditioning that we're talking about, the resistance we're talking about is natural. It is so natural. So natural. So let's get to, first of all, removing the resistance of the resistance on the resistance. You've all heard me say that a million times before. And getting to understanding that resistance and what it means and what it's pointing you to so we can ultimately get back to being present. Being present. Gary, any mental or emotional issue seems to be selfish and me-focused. Gary, it is selfish and you-focused. And it is you living your life. Homeostasis, what is it about? It's about organisms learning or figuring out how to have optimal conditions, internal conditions, despite the external. It is about me. It is about you. It is. It is. And the more that we cannot take life personal and our children personal and our experiences personal and come back and recognize that this is all helping me to self-regulate, to have optimal life experience, boom. It is, Gary. Could you accept that? It is about you. It is all about you. And the funny thing is, you guys will get a laugh. You guys, I'm sure will laugh about this. I have no problem about life being all about me. I have all the mugs and everything that says life is all about me. And me is my initials, M-E. My last name starts with E. So everywhere I have stuff that says, yes, it is all about me. So for me, it's always been easy for me to, I'm not selfish. You guys know that. I'm actually, because when I'm full, when I am full, I can give unlimitedly and unconditionally. And when I'm full. So Gary, what we want for all of us is to get full. Because when we are full, we can give unconditionally. So yes, it is you focused. Do you all buy that? Give me hearts, give me talks, give me whatever. Do we buy that it is all about me? That's what homeostasis is. That doesn't mean that we don't love. Doesn't mean we don't help. It doesn't mean that we don't care. It doesn't mean we don't support. But when we recognize it starts internally and we feel ourselves internally, then we can give from more. Then we can give from more. Do you want to give from more? I love the hearts coming up. Do you want to give from more or do you want to give from less? Do you want to give from more or less? Give me that answer. Give me that answer. Sporty Jen, part ego 2. Fantastic. Fantastic. The egoic level, the mental level, the emotional level, and I'm going to add in the physical level. We're going to be talking about health in a couple of weeks. I finally scheduled that health one. Physical. Our physical pain, our limitations, whatever it might be, our fear of our physical body, what we are doing career-wise, whether it's keeping us or limiting us. Fantastic. It's all 4 of the bodies. And that's why together we're continuing to deconstruct that key lime pie. Deconstruct that key lime pie and understand when my ego, my mental, my emotional, my physical are not in alignment. Because if they're not in alignment, boom, not connected to my internal light. Boom, not connected to my truth. Boom, I can't feel everything that I desire that is within me. This is so crazy because usually I do my live streams and I write a newsletter about the live stream. This time I've already written the newsletter, and then this live stream is mirroring. And I didn't even realize that today we'd be doing this. Was not in any way pre-calculated. So fascinating, so fascinating, so fascinating. Okay, Gary speaking Sporty Jen speaking Gary. Nancy, self-love is the highest form. Oh my God, Nancy, self-love is the highest form. And it's really interesting because when we were younger, I realized that I'd ask questions. You all know that I would I was looking from the youngest age of what life meant. And I would be like, do I like myself? And for the longest time, I didn't like myself. I did not like myself. So I'm going to ask you all, do you like yourself? Do you like yourself? And you can love yourself without liking yourself, but it's so damn nice to like yourself and love yourself. So when you say it's all about me focused, well, are you worthy? This liking and loving yourself is all about worthiness. Sporty Jen, fantastic. Parts, beautiful. And what we're going to do is focus on those parts and look for the resistance of the other parts until all parts are liked and loved. All parts are liked and loved. Nancy, beautiful. Ashley, I'm so blessed to be here with you all. Love for me first. Fantastic. Yes, love for you first. And when you love for yourself, you love for everybody. That's what the beauty of it is. When we focus on ourselves, we can focus on others. When we worthy for ourselves, others are worthy. It all starts internally. Nancy, we're all worthy of our own love. As you said, Manal, it's all about us. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So are we all collectively willing to go inside? Are we willing to take responsibility? Are we willing to say that whatever is happening outside of us, it comes back into saying, how do I calibrate internally? And recognizing that we are living homeostasis at every moment. And we actually are organisms, so we are. But are we willing to take responsibility for our emotional and our mental and our egoic? And our physical is ultimately doing it for us, but still there's aspects of our physical that we're holding resistance to. So do we want to get in alignment? Do we want to feel love? Do we want to feel self-love? Do we want to like ourselves? Do we want to go in and take that responsibility and focus to go in so we can free ourselves? Question, that's a question. Okay, Nancy, we fill our cups to the brim and then allow our love to overflow to everyone around us. Fantastic. Yes, 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 yes. When my friends or clients or whoever says, like, I'm so tired of giving and I'm so tired, that's to me a really clear indication that they're not filling their cup, that they are not filling themselves, even though they may be doing all the right things. You know, I'm thinking of one dear friend in particular that goes and plays the golf and goes and hangs out and goes and does her dinners and goes out with the friends, but is still always feeling fully given everything. It's because when she's doing it all, she's feeling guilty. When she's doing it all, she's not feeling aligned. When she's doing it all, she feels like she should be giving rather than filling. So you could be doing all the right things, and the only thing that needs to be shifting is the allowing, the accepting, the free flow of everything is just beautiful as it is, and it's okay, and accepting herself to be and to do as she does. So that her physical life would not change, but the resistance and the thoughts and the judgment to how she's living her life, if that could just switch to neutral and loving, that cup would be full as full could be. Did you guys catch me on that one? How did that one come out? Okay, Rita, I struggle too hard when devalued. Rita, let me ask you something. Who's devaluing you? Who is devaluing you? And everybody that feels that they're devalued, which includes me at times, I'm like, don't they see how great I am? Can you guys see me as my little victim? I have a friend that will say, Manal, you're playing victim. And I'm like, yeah, but I do it so well. Who devalues you? Who isn't seeing your light? Who isn't seeing you? Beautiful. Ex-boyfriend, ex. So you have an ex. the X. There's a reason there's an X. There's an X. Narcissist. Fantastic. We all have narcissists. We've talked about gaslighting and narcissism and have all that. So who else is he's out of your life, so you don't value him enough anymore for him to be devalued. Who else devalues you, Rita? Mary Alice. I haven't always, but I do now. Fantastic, Mary Alice. And if you want to give us insight into how you started to love and like yourself, that would be fantastic. Fantastic. He was too busy ruminating. I don't know, I think there's something going on about the inner freak there. Okay, Sporty Jen, why did the inner freak forget where he lived? Gary, I'm intrigued. He was too busy ruminating. Oh my God. I also scheduled the laughter as healing going on. The laughter as healing. So keep that joke, Gary, for that one. We're just going to be free. So Rita, talk to me about the ex-boyfriend. The ex-boyfriend, I see the hearts going. The ex-boyfriend is out. So does his judgment, okay, this is the question. And everybody that has somebody that's out of your life that undervalued you, does their judgment still count? So, and if it does, why does it and where does it? And let's get to the root of it. Let's get to the root. Let's play. Sporty Jen, I devalue myself. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. I know I do. Conditioning, fantastic. And so what's the first step? What is the first step? What is the first step? The first step is awareness. Awareness, awareness. So Sporty Jen, you're aware. And once you're aware, boom, boom. It's the awareness that moves you into valuation. So what does that feel like? Rita, I was discarded. A lot of shame and guilt. Fantastic, Rita. Okay. Rita, I'm going to ask you, this is the first time for me to sort of see it this way. Okay? And play with me. Play with me. And if anything doesn't feel good, tell me. And everybody, I want you to play this in your world where you might feel that shame or that guilt. So this is, I'm going to play with me on this one. And again, if it doesn't feel good in any way, share with me so we can continue playing through it. What if there was an inner part of you, Rita? What if there was an inner part of you that didn't feel good in that relationship? What if there was an inner part of you that just felt like something was wrong and something wasn't right? But the outer part of you, the Rita part of you, didn't know how or couldn't do anything about it. And what if that was being projected in a non-verbal way, in a vibrational way? And because of that, he left. But it was really a vibrational response to your desire to be free. And although it looked like it was external, it was really internally motivated. How does that feel, Rita? Does that give you freedom? Does that give you freedom that there's sometimes that we can manifest things that we desire, that we physically aren't ready to do, so the universe does it for us? And sometimes it might hurt, but it may have been easier than you doing it, because you know what? You didn't do it. You didn't do it. So Rita, that does resonate. Fantastic. I'm getting the goosebumps, so I can feel that it's hitting home. So maybe when we realize that things that happen to us that feel bad, but really are good for us, might be the universe's way of tenderly helping us do things that we couldn't do on our own. Sort of holding us and allowing things that are best for us, that we were vibrationally or internally ready for, but we physically weren't ready for. And so the universe is tenderly, and it doesn't feel tender because it hurts, but it may have been easier than you doing it. Because if you were ready for it, could you have done it? Could you have done it? Were you ready to do it? And was it good for you? So Rita and everybody answer that and let me know how that feels. Sporty Jen, I feel sad about it. I feel my wee hurt self. She is angry, sad, feels unloved. All she wanted to feel was connection, to be held and loved unconditionally. Okay, Sporty Jen. I was thinking the other day while I was driving. I don't know why while I was driving, and I don't know why it's even relevant for me to share with you all that I was thinking about it when I was driving, okay? Is that we talk a lot about our inner child. which I really love because it reflects a recognition of the conditioning that we all have had and picked up along the way. So I really love the inner child. But I also noticed that in our discussion of the inner child, we do have a limited, there's a energy of that child that didn't get what they want, and they're suffering or they're struggling, or I don't know, I'm not able to say the flavor. Are you guys getting me? But when we reflect on our inner child, even though they had the conditioning experiences, I want us to see our inner child as whole. As whole. Please, everybody, tell me if any of this resonates wrongly so we can try to calibrate it to fit, to hit right. I want us to see our inner child as whole, because even though they had that's exactly what I'm getting at, Sporty Jen. She feels defective. When we continue to hold the story that our inner child was anything other than whole, we continue to project that to our today. When I was thinking the other day, like I said in the car, I was thinking about the inner child, and I was like, Manal, I just love that that this word has become commonplace in society. We talk about our inner child and nobody freaks out, or the inner freak, Gary's inner freak. Nobody freaks out, the inner freak doesn't come out, and everybody sort of accepts it and understands what it means. But I said, but there's still something that I don't like about it. This is the conversation. You guys know me having my conversation with myself. But there's still something I don't like about it. Manal, I'm like, what is it that I don't like? And I'm like, oh. As we talk about our inner child, it sort of feels like an excuse for us not being whole, or not seeing them whole, or something was broken or wrong. The lens that I offer for us all to hold when we look at our inner child is one of unconditional love and worthiness and freedom, and that the conditioning is more of, again, exploration of the understanding of vibrational feelings that we've picked up along the way that we're continuing to grow from. So the lens is the lens of growth and expansion. But every stage along the way, we were whole and we are whole. This is really big. This is really big. Who wants to join me? Who wants to join me when we reflect on our pasts? There is not from lack. It is not from limited. It is from wholeness, despite the conditioning, because at every moment we're still unconditionally worthy, free, and loved. How is that hitting everybody? How does that feel? How does that feel? Sporty Jen, I see her and she sees me. Fantastic. And I want everybody to be seen as whole. No matter what's going on externally, we are still whole. How does that feel? How's that land? Manal, even though my PSA retest came out great, it took me a couple of days to relax. Why? Is it a self-confidence issue? Gary, we're all waiting for the sky. What is it? For the sky to fall down? Is that the little bird, or who was it that the acorn fell on his head and said the sky is falling, the sky is falling? We're all waiting for the sky to fall. What was that animal? Was it a chickie? What was it? What was it? Somebody help me. So yeah, we're all waiting for the sky to fall down, and we get that first acorn and we're waiting for the second, and then the third, and then the fourth. And life has conditioned us where we're talking to each other and we're like, oh, somebody has loss, and somebody has this, and somebody has that, and that life is Chicken Little. Thank you, Irie. Chicken Little. It was Chicken Little. It was Chicken Little. We're all walking around like Chicken Little because when we observe life and observe other people, we just see a lot of shit going on. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that word on this thing, but anyway, I say it every now and then. And so, yeah, Gary, it's not just negative thinking, it's just the conditioning and just being aware of like, oh, I'm still whole. And fantastic, first of all, about that test being good. This couple of days later, I'm so happy about that. But just look at the flavor. You guys know I'm into feeling the flavor these days as taste, which is so interesting. It's so interesting. It's fascinating me. But look at that flavor of that energy. Look at the flavor of that energy, and cookie cutter it. And when you have time, reflect on when that cookie cutter energy has come in the past. It's come a lot. Go as young as you can. And then just recognize that you want to translate that or move that into a different flavor of acceptance and trust, and that knowing everything just has been working out, and that life is fantastic, and this is the human journey, and we're here to pick up vibration so we could turn around and calibrate to a vibration of surrender and trust and ease and beauty. So don't blame your brain. It's not negative thinking. It's vibrational response, and enjoy just that detangling. How does that feel to you, Gary? Gary, I know it's me devaluating myself. Everyone tweets me with value. That's fantastic, because what I did want to get at when we talked about the devaluing, that ultimately we may think it's others, but it is really us. It's us. That's us. Wait, okay, before I go to the devaluing again thing, I'm going to come back to where we are. Are we on board with how we're going to hold our inner child? Can we collectively recalibrate and retune to seeing our inner child as whole? And if we don't, figure out what's resistance to that so we can hold our inner child from wholeness. Sporty Jen, are you saying you want to meditate or that? Meditate, Sporty Jen, what are you saying about meditation? Irie, it's Manal's new nickname, Chicken Little. Just don't. Okay. Are we getting these yeses about us holding how we hold our inner child? Our inner child is not an excuse to see ourselves as less than. Yes, we'll do an inner child meditation. Yes. It's almost like I'm punishing. Yes, that's what I've noted. I'm like, Manal, what is the air that you're trying to, what is it that you're feeling? What is it? And I'm like, oh, we're all just crapping on our inner child. We want to hold our inner child from the same place of wholeness as we hold ourselves. So I don't want to go back to that valuing until we all agree on that. Or if there's any resistance, we talk to it, and we will do an inner child meditation. We'll do it, and we'll do it soon. Is that if there's any resistance, we talk to it. So how does that feel to everybody? How does that feel? I'm just pausing. Andrea said, good morning. Irie, the brain naturally holds on to negative energy automatically. It's from the earliest days of mankind and the need to survive. Fantastic. It's homeostasis. It's what keeps us safe. It's that flight or fright. It's what it's that what's teaching us to keep safe. But now we recognize what we want. What did we collectively say we want to feel? Peace, calm, authenticity, realness, ease, all of these things. So even though life has taught us to react, what we want to do is come back to that internal peace. And one of the key is to how we hold our past. And when we hold our past as whole, we feel whole. When we hold our past as less than, we will feel less than. Yes? Sporty Jen, when I talk to my inner child, I'll feel love for her, and I feel her pain, and she is frightened. Fantastic. And I want her, okay, let me ask you all. When you're telling somebody about what's going on in your life, and you're leaning into them, and you're looking for support, do you want them to feel sorry for you, or do you want them to empower you and see the beauty in you, and the strength in you, and the value in you? Do you want them to pity you and to do for you and to see you as incapable, or do you want them to see you as capable and just sort of boost you up and give you that support and that love that you're looking for? How do you want people to hold you when you're in struggle? Gary, I feel what you're getting at, Manal. Steve should be here. Oh, goodness, Steve, I don't know if you're here or not, but you're being loved. You are being loved. Sporty Jen, empower, value, support me. Fantastic. Okay, so does everybody agree with Sporty Jen? Does everybody agree with Sporty Jen with how you want to be held? I want to feel stronger. Fantastic. So you want whoever's talking to you to help you feel stronger, not weaker, and feel sorry for you. Oh, woe is you. Woe is you. I think I said that to one of my daughters the other day. She did not like it. I think I said stop playing Woe Is Me. I don't know, whatever it was, it did not hit well. Evil Manal. Nancy, yes, I'm seeing my inner child as less than whole. I saw her as wounded. Now I see I can hold her in wholeness. Fantastic. I did not want to get away from this point until I felt that resonance of it really hitting home and us calibrating to it all. So everybody else, are we there? Can we see that when we want to be held and supported, we want to be empowered? We want to be valued. We want to be supported. We want to be seen as capable. We don't want people to pity us, feel sorry for us, and feel us less than whole. So when we look at our inner child, who is actually a reflection of who we are now, if we see her as whole, we'll see ourselves as whole. As we see her as wounded and broken and hurt and struggle, then that's what we reflect and see for ourselves. So, who wants to join me? I don't want to overdo it, but I think this is a really important point for us to all calibrate to. Irie makes me think of the India Ari song, Strength, Courage, and Wisdom. Beautiful. Yes. Strength, courage, and wisdom. Strength, courage, and wisdom. It's funny because at Insight Timer, a lot of your meditations and courses and talks, whatever it is, you need to say what it is that you're, what the live stream is going to be focusing on. And they have some standard ones, but I find that a lot of what we end up doing collectively, the surrender, the inner peace, whatever it might be, those aren't boxes, but they have wisdom on there. And I do put wisdom and focus on there. So I do some of their words, but I don't feel like it's words that we use. But it's interesting because wisdom and motivation are one of their two boxes. So wisdom. What does wisdom mean? What does wisdom mean? Let's dig into wisdom. Irie, I love it. Andrea, I can see how strong my inner child is to survive trauma and to be as I am now. Yes, I want us to see our inner child as strong, as powerful, as empowered, as resilient, as courageous, as wise. I like that word, resilient. Resilient. What does resilient mean? What does resilient mean? Sporty Jen, we tend to focus on the negative aspect of the inner child, not the positive. Little Jen was an awesome, weak kid, so resilient and funny. Fantastic, fantastic. And if all we do today is shift the way that we see our inner child, that's so fantastically amazing, because it means it's the way that we're shifting the way we see ourselves. Can you all see that the way you see your inner child is how you see yourself? Do you all see that? Hearts and words. Rita, feeling stronger would be great. Speaking to Rita, so I don't know why I read it. But Gary, yes, feeling stronger is fantastic. It is fantastic. And Rita, I think I said I want to feel stronger. Let's get there together. Rita, what's keeping you from feeling stronger? What is keeping you? What is keeping you? Irie, experiences from the past give us wisdom moving forward. So Irie, I love that you said this. I love that you said that. So can you see that how everything we experience in the past gives us wisdom? That if we could look at our past as the avenue towards wisdom, to growth and expansion, boom, everything that happened to inner child, baby child, little Jen, little whoever it might be, little Rita, little Andrea, little Gary, was for you to gain the insight, resilience, wisdom, courage, and strength of the person you are now. Can you see that? Can you see that? Oh, beautiful. Okay, Rita, self-doubt. Self-doubt. Where is your self-doubt? Is your self-doubt in your mind or emotion? Is that emotional or mental? I see the hearts going, you guys. Today is so powerful. I didn't know how a topic like homeostasis, and sometimes even doesn't spit out properly. I didn't know how homeostasis was going to come out, but it's fantastic. Fantastic, because it shows you that we are responsible internal despite the external, that our job is to moderate ourselves, optimize, strengthen internally despite the external. Beautiful. Gary, yes, we can meditate now. I'll shut up. Oh my God, you guys are so funny. Rita, both mental and emotional. Okay, fantastic. Okay, I keep hearing the big M word. And by M, it's not Manal or Mattain, it's meditation. Wow, they're all M. Are you guys ready for a meditation? Are you ready for a meditation? As Gary leads us into this, we will talk about we'll guide you through your self-doubt. Does everybody, I know there were some things that we didn't cover, and then I said I wasn't going to let us go through until we finished talking about the inner child. We see some valuing. That's me. Oh, Rita, I was afraid to be alone, but the sad part is I have been alone the whole relationship. Fantastic. Fantastic. Rita, there's a lot of emotions we're going to go into with the meditation with you. Fantastic. Okay. Andrea, yes, meditation would be fantastic. Okay, let me just quickly see what else I missed. Rita, where was that one? You guys know that when I miss them, it sometimes gets hard to find them again. Okay, hold on. I was afraid to be alone. Sporty Jen, she feels defective, which I read. I see her, see she's me. I don't know if I missed anything. Am I caught up, guys? I think I'm caught up. I think we're caught up. If I didn't read something of yours, let me know. If I did not read something of yours, let me know. I feel like we are caught up, and I just missed Rita's in there. Rita, fantastic. Rita, just so I know, how long ago has this been the end of your relationship with your ex? Just so I have some context into where you are in that emotional journey. Obviously, it doesn't matter where you are time-wise, but it just sort of gives me some insight, and I will speak to it in the meditation. Okay, and 4 times since that 4 months, or 4 times before that 4 months? Have you been clean for 4 months? And you know what? 4 times before, perfect. You know, sometimes, fantastic. Okay, so you've been clean for 4 months. So you've sort of detoxed yourself. And bad relationships is no different than different forms of substances. It's us allowing external substances to come in and to poison us internally. And it happens because we are meant to grow and expand. We are not bad. We are not bad. There is something we are meant to learn. So Rita, have you held, and does everybody, when you look at your past, can you hold and feel that it's here for our wisdom and our courage? What is it that Irie said? Strength, courage, and wisdom. Do you recognize that life's happenings is for us to grow and expand? For that courage and that strength and that wisdom? Have you calibrated to that yet? Okay, fantastic. Okay. Is there anything anybody wants to say before we get into our meditation? Does anybody want to say anything before we get into meditation? I'm feeling really good. Is everybody feeling good? Or is it just me that's feeling good? Does everybody feel good? I just want to know, just take stock. How does everybody feel? I see the hearts going. How does everybody feel? How does everybody feel? Okay, I see the hearts. I see them. Sporty Jen. Okay, fantastic. Okay. Okay. It's just me. Okay. I'm going to ask something. Nancy feeling beautiful. Mary Alice is feeling a bit, I think that's a negative emoji, sort of crying. Okay, let me ask, anybody put in your window if there's something that you want me to address during the meditation. So just put anything in it, and then let's just go into our bodies, okay? Okay, get comfortable and open. And we're going to go into this meditation with the intention to invite just beautiful growth and expansion. And we just invite the universe to allow us to see what's for our highest good. We invite understanding, awareness, and honoring of our beautiful human experience, and just really to remain objective and loving. Okay, let's start with 3 purifying breaths. Take a deep breath in. And release. Take another deep breath in. And release. So you take your 3rd breath, just watch how the air, when it enters your nostrils, is just a bit cooler. Enjoy the infinite capacity of the gap. And on the release, enjoy the warmth. Today, we've had an amazing reflection on the power that we all have collectively to get everything that we desire out of life from within. We all have the power. We're all connected to the power. And anything that keeps us from this power is the natural unfolding of life. Together we're going to continue to journey to understand this natural resistance, this natural unfolding, so we can calibrate to our internal power. That's alignment with our inner peace, our strength, our power, our calm, our contentment, satisfaction, our ease, our beauty. So as we journey today, we recognize that we're all holding resistance in one of our 4 bodies. And we're going to journey through all 4 bodies. And just let us release. Release, release, release this resistance so we can calibrate to our inner power. Let's start with entering into our emotional body without overindulging in any energy. Just sort of fly around your emotional body, and you will know exactly what to do at every moment. Fly around your emotional body and invite awareness of emotional resistance, grief, sadness, anger, self-doubt, betrayal, frustration, loss. Sort of fly through your emotional body and take inventory of this resistance. Smiling at this resistance with the knowing that we're seeing it differently right now. We're seeing it as a tool to guide us inward, and so appreciative of the power that this resistance brings. It's this resistance that brings us inwards. It's the pain, the desire for answers, knowing that life is more. Start to become warm to these resistant emotions. And recognizing that when you layered your resistance on this resistance, it just really became painful and difficult to bear. But when we start to see each layer for what it is, it's easier to recognize, oh, you're just here to teach me. You're a gift. You're helping me learn to not take life personally. You're here to teach me about inner love and peace and calm. You're here to show me that the external world is beautiful to live physically, but there's a lot of noise, and I have the ability to filter it out and go inside. As you sort of enjoy the flavor of your emotions, if there's one particular one that you want to focus on, just sort of look at it. There's something really strong that you've been dealing with. It still might have different layers. Just sort of go deeper into it. And let's acknowledge that this resistance is here to teach us something. Open yourself to that awareness. Usually it's one of the three. Worthiness. You are worthy. And life is going to keep happening until you recognize how worthy you are. You are free. You are free. We are all free. And life will keep unfolding until we know and live that truth. And we are happiness. We are love. We are joy. We are peace. We are bliss. We are. And life is going to keep showing us otherwise until we learn how to calibrate it internally. If you've picked up a certain flavor of resistance, or just generally, let's fly into the womb. Let's go and fly into when you were a wee little one. Fly into your mother's womb. And at this point, invite an awareness of when you were conditioned, and a recognition that this is just a vibrational learning for you. That you've thought that all these things were unfolding, and it really wasn't about the circumstance. It was about us learning about unconditional worthiness and freedom and happiness. Let's journey together to recognize when this was picked up. When this was picked up. Let's go into the womb. Become aware of the vibration of your mom. Those around her, maybe it was your dad, maybe family members, friends. See if you can taste the flavor, the vibrational flavor. See your baby as whole, even when you were swimming around in your mother's womb, you were connected to the most powerful light, to truth, to your inner power, to your strength. Your body has always been doing what it's meant to be doing. You are always instinctively knowing how to be strong, courageous, and wise. Life is just a series of events to teach you. And at every stage of your life, you were whole and powerful and ready to receive what you needed to receive. Recognize any vibration that you picked up when you were in the womb. Smile and love at that baby. Now imagine yourself being born. Welcome any awareness of feelings, emotions, how the external world started to impact your internal world. See if you could see that cookie cutter of resistance that we're looking to decipher and to understand and to grow from. See that your baby, regardless of what's going on external, is whole. Whatever happened externally does not make us less whole. In fact, sometimes the greater things that are happening external just demonstrates the wholeness that we are, because we're able to withstand so much external to teach us to go back into the infinite power that we are. Now watch yourself growing to days and weeks and months. Just invite understanding of anything that you've been conditioned, vibrational feelings that you've picked up, stories of being less than or unworthy, not happy, under control, not free, and smile at those stories. Smile at your life unfolding with the recognition that they're all just teaching you to go in. They're teaching you about the infinite nature of you. You are whole. You always have been whole. And you will always be whole. Just love on your baby, and if you see resistance, just let it go from there. We don't need to wait. If you connect with heavy resistance or a heavy circumstance, just let it go. When you see that every experience was for your growth and expansion, how easy it is to let go. Now watch yourself grow into your early years. Just be curious for that cookie cutter, what you're meant to learn, and watch it. Love on it. Recognize any resistance that you may have held towards your past, your parents, your family, your circumstances. Just smile and love at it. Recognize that that resistance is part of your humaning. part of your human journey to at first blame and then be a victim, and to recognize, and then to recognize that you are fully empowered and everything starts from inside. And that life was here to teach you that. Go into your early teens. Fly through different stages at your own pace, spending more time at times in your life that was a bit more combustible, emotional, dynamic, and just invite the understanding of what you are meant to learn and the recognition of your wholeness and your power at every moment along the way. Fly through your timeline and love, love, love. Recognize your growth, your expansion, your resilience, your strength, your power, your beauty. Your courage, your contentment, your power, your light, your presence. Keep flying until you get back to today. Come back into your body. And see if you've shifted a lot of that resistance that you first connected with when we entered into the meditation. And just smile at your power. That with just a little going inward, just some time, you can reconcile and be empowered for how your life unfolded. Be deliberate to let go of any energy that hasn't let go on its own. Shake it off. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Take a deep breath in and let it out. We focus there on our emotional body, and I'm sure that other parts of our body came in. But right now, just sort of go to your mind. See how your mind is feeling. Recognize the judgments that you place on your mind. Recognize the resistance that you have on your mind. Recognize how your mind is racing at times and focused on things that you might not always desire for the moment. Ask your mind, what are you meant to learn? How are you meant to grow? Receive whatever message, but I'm receiving that your mind just wants to be loved and appreciated, recognized for the power. Your brain is just brilliant, and there's just so much going on that you're unconscious and unaware of that's keeping you strong and healthy. That the mind's overactivity is the fear and anxiety, which is fears that you can't label, and with surrender and acceptance and self-love and trust, the mind will surrender and get into alignment with your emotional body and your egoic body and your physical body, and give you the clarity, the peace, the love, the care that you're looking for. Your mind is brilliant. Brilliant. Just watch as the resistance just melts away. Honor any thoughts that are coming in your mind, because it's a clue to what you're carrying in your body. And the more active your mind is, it's just giving you lots of clues. And it's through awareness that you allow those clues to be seen and then released. Watch your mind just become much more relaxed, accepted, and honored. Your mind is just like you. It wants to be seen. It wants to be valued. It wants to be recognized. It's just doing amazing things for you. If you feel resistance, if you feel overwhelming emotion, just let it out. Let it out. Together we're going to build all of our muscles to get into acceptance for all of our bodies. To see every body as whole, capable, aligned, powerful, strong, wise, trust. Take a deep breath in and release all of the resistance. Take a deep breath in and release. And take a deep breath in and release. At this point, I encourage you all to go to your egoic body. The ego. The ego. How we have been taught to hold so much resistance to the ego. Different than the resistance of the mind, because we still use our minds and are friendly with our minds, but they're just overactive. But the ego, we've been taught in society to hold the ego as bad, to hold the ego as unwanted, to hold the ego as separate from ourselves. Our egos are so strong and powerful and serve an amazing purpose for ourselves. So just look at the resistance that you might hold towards your ego and embrace your ego. Just love your ego and just let go. Let go of what society has told you about your ego, and see your ego in a new way for the first time. Let your ego know that you see You admire, you honor, you trust, and let your ego be part of the whole of who you are. The ego doesn't need to overly protect you, because when you're whole in alignment, you are all powerful together. And you welcome the ego to be part of your wholeness, in alignment and flow and inner power and love. Welcome any insight from your ego. Recognize your ego is where you hold your beliefs and your identity, and you will work to identifying as a whole, strong, beautiful, aligned, peaceful, grounded, beautiful being. Honoring all four of your bodies, your emotional body, your mental body, your physical body, and your egoic body, and having the four bodies together in play and harmony and beauty. Take a deep breath in and release. And at this point, look at your physical body. It could be your physical body, your height, your weight, your hair, your face, your image. It could also be the person that you perceive yourself to be. The mom, the employee, the employer, the entrepreneur, how you show up in life. And just look at how you may have judged yourself now or in the past, the future. Judgments towards your body, your image. It's whether you like yourself. Do you like yourself? And look at all of that resistance that you hold towards your physical self. Smile at it. At this point, it should be so much easier. It's just part of the human journey. It's part of life conditioning. It's part of societal conditioning. It's part of your personal journey, and it's all okay. Together we'll keep working to look at the resistance you carry in different pockets of your life, in different bodies, and just learn to let go and release and surrender and align to the beauty of who you are. Your body is powerful. Your body is powerful. You are powerful. You have learned so many amazing things and grown into the brilliant being that you are now. If you feel some overwhelming emotion, just smile at it and just let it be. Just let it be. It's okay. It's okay. It's just the human journey. And we're here to love each other and celebrate each other and be empowered together. It's okay. If you're feeling emotion, just find the pleasure and the alignment towards your physical body and your emotional body and your mental body. This is what meditation is for, is to easily let out that extra emotion, to let out the resistance. You're doing brilliantly. Take a deep breath in and release. Take a deep breath in and release. And take a third and final deep breath in. And release. You are most powerful when your four bodies are in harmony. Your four bodies, your egoic, your mental, your emotional, and physical, Just love on your four bodies and love the harmony that they play together. They are all part of the orchestra that you call you. Any insights that you received, any wisdom, any awareness and understanding of yourself, your ego, your mind, your physical body, your emotional body, your inner body, just smile and recognize that you have more insight about yourself and your journey than you ever did. And that is powerful. That's so powerful. You are so powerful. You are so empowered to live the life you desire, and together we'll let go of all of the resistance that made you believe that you are not, and just have unconditional joy and alignment and pleasure. Because this life, this human journey, us humaning, is meant to be pleasurable and beautiful. It's meant to be enjoyed, and together we'll find the joy in life, the pleasure in life. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to sit with your body. Welcome any intentions for yourself now, for your future. I'm going to create the intention for us to align with our inner self, and to recognize that the external world is going to keep on externally, and that's okay, because we are going to build a strong, resilient, courageous, wise, and focused internal being, connection with our internal. So despite what's going on in the external, we are grounded and calm and authentic and real and beautiful and aligned, happy, worthy, and free. I'm going to pause for those 2 minutes now and give you the opportunity to create any intentions that you desire. I'll call you back. Wonderful. I'm going to count to 5. On 3, open your eyes and come back into the virtual room. And let's discuss how we feel and what you learned and where you are. Take a deep breath in. And release. 2, 3. Open your eyes. 4 and 5. Cecilia joined us at the start of the meditation. Hi, Manal just joined. Hope you had a beautiful Thanksgiving. I did, and I hope everybody did too. Gary's bringing us to laughter. Okay, if you cried, I guess Gary cried as I cried. Twice. You guys brought me to tears twice. Twice, but who's counting? Maybe more. I think I cracked a couple times. Sporty Jen. I want to say I feel easier, but such resistance came up. I lost little Jen. She pushed away, didn't want to engage. I don't know who she's annoyed with. She doesn't trust this process yet, I think. Reminded me of pushing away my dad after Robbie shut down, don't let anyone in. Sporty Jen, that's fantastic and that's fabulous. And it's exactly as you alluded, that she's a reflection of you today, and just knowing that she's on the journey but not quite ready to trust life, but working towards it. And just keep honoring and connected and seeing you and her as whole. That's today's name of the game. The name of the game, that should be a song because I felt like singing it. The name of the game is wholeness. That whatever work we do, whatever we do on ourselves, we do it from a place of wholeness. And I'm just, wow, look at me. Just sick and tired. Do you guys hear me? Sick and tired. That's so negative. Sick and tired of us doing the work from a place of less than. You guys, we're whole. We're amazing. We're powerful. Our pasts were our pasts for a reason. So let's hold it from that place of power. Let's hold it from a place of empowerment, of growth, of expansion, of learning, of loving, of being. How does that feel? How does that feel? So Sporty Jen, fantastic. And just keep loving her wholly, and loving yourself wholly, and loving Robbie wholly, and loving your dad wholly. And the conditioning, you know, I can tell you, Sporty Jen, it wasn't easy to be your dad. It was not easy to be your dad. He did not and was not connected to love. And it is not easy to live life not being connected to truth and love. Andrea, I can see myself in the womb of my mother as radiant and perfect and whole. Yes, yes, yes. And that's what I want for us all, to see us right now in the womb of life as radiant and perfect and whole. And in the womb, in our early days, in our later days, whenever it might be, regardless of what's happening out external to us. Homeostasis. That's what today's all about. Brooke, magical words that relate to my father too. Beautiful. It's not easy to not be connected to love. It's got to be. Look at us. We all talk about the little resistance that we feel relative to that, and it feels bad. Can you imagine having a life that you've just been angry or hurt little ones that are meant to be loved? It is not easy to be them. Marissa, I see myself as second resistance from and toward my parents already from the womb. How can I let go of this? It feels like my final lesson. Beautiful. I see myself as second resistance from and towards my parents already from the womb. Marissa, it's really a beautiful indication that you've chose to live resistant initial experiences to teach you to go in and surrender to love. And your awareness of that is, I always say, the awareness is the hardest part. The awareness is the hardest part. Becoming aware is the hardest part. So if you recognize from the womb, you know, I don't know what the conditions are. Maybe you were unwanted. Maybe your mom and dad felt a lot of fear to have you. Maybe maybe they weren't wed yet. Maybe you were number 2 or 3 or 4. It doesn't really matter. And there was a lot of resistance towards having you, and you picked that up. And it's an indication of a big learning lesson. Let me ask you, what is it that you're meant to learn from it? As I say to you, what is it that your mom and dad, what were their life circumstances when you came into the womb? What were they struggling with? How can you see it from a lens of, I'll use the word that Brooke has in there, is forgiveness or compassion and love towards them and you and their circumstances. Because ultimately, the feeling that liberates is compassion. And everything I say, deliberate and undeliberate, is towards having compassion on the human journey. So when I say I'm sick and tired, that's not compassionate, that's angry. So you can see that Manal's human comes out and spoke in a level of anger towards healing. That's not compassionate. 95%, 90%, you guys choose the percent of the words that come out of my lips, from my tongue, are compassionate. Every now and then, my human comes out, and that's what we joke about, the evil Manal, or whatever it might be, which is really the human Manal. And I'm always going to be human, but in here we come in from a lens of compassion. So I guess that's a whole long way to Marissa to say to you, what were their circumstances, and how do you see compassion towards where they were, and so then love and compassion towards you were, and then a recognition that you are and we're always whole, and this is something for you to grow and learn. This is what you're learning, your growth and learning. Marissa, thank you. I'll practice that. Fantastic. And if you want to share more and give more insight so we can start to peel it away with you, I'm so happy for that. Brooke, I'm grateful for love and forgiveness. Beautiful. I used to hold on because I felt like I was the only thing I could control. Yeah, it sort of feels nice to hold on to anger or frustration or blame or victim, and it does have a false sense of empowerment. I totally agree with you, but there's so much more power in the surrender. Beautiful, Brooke. I don't want it any longer. Beautiful. Me too, Brooke. Me too. I just want love. I just want love. The other night when I went to bed after Thanksgiving, there was this whole certain circumstances, and I just kept saying, I am love. Like I even moved past that I want to be loved to like, I am love. I am love. And I want to attract in my experience love, and people that want to feel my love, and those that want to radiate love. I am love. And that's all I want, is love. To give love and to receive love. And it really resonates with what Brenda's saying. It's like, I want, and to give that love, it's through compassion. And forgiveness is a step towards compassion, but forgiveness feels still like something was wrong, where compassion is unconditional and there was nothing wrong in the first place. And so that's, if there's anything that we can take away, there's a few anythings, is the movement away from something was wrong. Nothing was wrong. It's just what's meant to be for the human unfolding. Andrea, me too. My father's mother died at his birth and he never experienced love. I feel compassion towards his behavior. Fantastic, fantastic. So much pain they were in. So much pain. And if we could start to see that instead of from it vengeance, or it was really from pain, that starts to move the needle from anger and judgment and forgiveness to compassion. How do we move our needle to compassion? So Marissa, when you look at your story, how do you move it to compassion? How do you move it to compassion? Gary, Manal, why is resistance such a beast? Does our inner freak create more resistance so we stay hooked? Yes, it's a drug that we enjoy until we learn how to surrender, Gary. It is a drug. Resistance is a drug until we learn how to surrender. So we talk about, Marissa, and Brooke and the anger and Andrea and Sporty Jen and their fathers or whoever it might be around them that were angry and lashed out and violent and whatever it might be. It's a drug. That's their drug. And until they're willing to say and look inside instead of externalizing it, they're going to keep killing themselves with that drug. So yes, 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 and yes. How's that feel, Gary? And how does that feel, everybody? And how does everybody feel? How does everybody feel? Yendi. I love Eckhart Tolle. I absolutely love him. I love him. Although I need to listen to him at 2.5 speed. What does that say about me? Totally, we need suffering until we don't. I'm going to read that again, Yendi, because it's so beautiful. Eckhart Tolle, I love you. We need suffering until we don't. We need suffering until we don't. And I'm going to say, Manal says, we need suffering until we see that it's not suffering. We need suffering until we see that it is not suffering. It's life. It just is. It is. Gary, I think I gained ground today. Fantastic. Fantastic. Andrea, I feel like another puzzle piece got put into place with your help now. Oh my God, I'm just totally goosebumping, you guys. Because sometimes when I'm speaking to blackness and nothing, can you hear the weed eater next door? I'm like, okay, is this hitting? Is this landing anywhere? So it's so happy and it reinforces when you guys tell me it's landing. Sporty Jen, it's like we can't accept someone, even yourself, being nice to your inner child. It's so total unworthiness. It's not even easier to, it is easier not to feel than to feel. Exactly, Sporty Jen, and that's how we get toxic parenting. That's easier not to feel, but then we're human, so all of the vibration is in there and it's got to come out, and then it's emotional and verbal vomit. It becomes toxic and painful and hurtful. So it's fantastic, fantastic. So we don't want to be like them, to feel like it's easier not to feel. And I'm going to bring out the analogy I haven't brought out in a long time. Are you cleaning your attic, your garage, or your kitchen? Hopefully your kitchen is cleaned every day, so it's not like the attic or the, let me get a better analogy, your bedroom, maybe not a good one. Your study, probably not a good one. What's the cleanest room in the house? The entrance. There's nothing in it. The entrance, unless there's a table that's catching all the shoes and the jackets. The family room. You guys, what's the cleanest room in your house? The bedroom, whatever it is. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's what's true for you. Fantastic. The kitchen. Yeah, the kitchen. So are you cleaning your attic or are you cleaning your kitchen? If you're cleaning your attic, it's easier to not clean than to clean. If you're cleaning your bedroom or your kitchen, boom. You've been doing it every day. So it's you just do wash whatever it might be. Andrea, kitchen, fantastic. Andrea says it's always landing with me. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Okay, good. So how many cried during the meditation? There was intense emotion at a few times. How many people cried? The mind. I feel when I got to the mind, I feel when I got to the mind, there was such an overwhelming movement of energy. The mind and then the ego too. Or maybe no, it was the mind and then the physical body. We carry so much resistance towards our mind, you guys. Our minds are amazing. We are amazingly brilliant. Our minds are amazing. The problem isn't our mind. We think it's our mind. It's what I'm going to say what Sporty Jen said. It's all this pent up emotion that we haven't addressed. It's not our minds. Our minds are just the most active participants that's speaking for all of your bodies. Our mind is speaking for our ego. It's speaking for our emotions. It's speaking for our physical. It's speaking for our minds. We just aren't differentiating the mind's voice, that key lime pie. So we feel an emotion and the mind goes boom, 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 boom. And we think it's the mind. It's the emotion, but we're not addressing the emotion. So the mind is our friend, and we just got to keep loving it and loving it and loving it and loving it. Even though I do have a meditation that's coming up called Quieting the Monkey Mind. It was a nod to Gary. And I'm like, Manal, you're really going to write monkey in there? And I said, yes. It's what we talk about during our live stream. So yes, I'm going to put monkey mind, although it was very painful to put that monkey in there. But I think I did. I'm pretty sure I put in the monkey mind. Andrea, I was such awe of my inner child. For the first time I saw her as a perfect and strong, fantastic. So that drive really, I was like, we're not doing it anymore. We're not going to play games with our poor little inner child. Mini-me. You guys remember Mini-me? Our poor little, no, our inner childs are magnificent. We can reflect on the conditioning, the experiences our inner child had, but from a place of awe, amazement, excitement, celebration, and empowerment. Not from a place of less than. Fantastic. Sporty Jen, no, I can't, I want to, but she is so angry when she feels that way. Everything feels unjust. Fantastic, Sporty Jen. There's just a little victim in that little baby Sporty Jen, but still see her voice as worthy. Look at that anger as just. Look at it as whole. Look at it as a normal expression of the conditions that she was feeling until she can shift to compassion. Can you feel the difference between her anger is bad and her anger is absolutely normal, and it's the phase that she's in, and we're going to honor the phase that she's in until she's not in that phase? Can you feel the difference in the non-judgment versus judgment of her anger? Let her be angry. She has a lot to be angry about. But let's not hold it with resistance. Let's hold it with love. And then feel and connect with that anger and look at the stories and feel the egoic beliefs with it and just calibrate them. Calibrate to love. But honor her anger. Good. Andrea, the weasel's worm is gone. I don't know what you're talking about. It sounds good. Did I say something? The weasel's worm is gone. Tell me what you're talking about, Andrea. I don't know if it's saying Sporty Jet. I think so. Yes, your inner child is brilliant. Her anger is brilliant. Her anger is necessary. Whenever you think about anger and you want to think about it as good, as long as it's not projecting on anybody, think about that mom that goes out there and swims in front of the oxen to save her baby from being killed by those oxen. And that anger propelled her at a speed and a focus and a willingness that was untold. Anger is healthy when it's not projected on others, when it's channeled to reflect conditions that are not healthy. Honor her anger until she shifts. Oh, Andrea, there we go. I saw my inner child like a Weasley worm who was helpless and had no power. Fantastic. Every point in the womb, we're powerful. And when we're born, we're powerful. As our early days, we're powerful. Our early weeks, we're powerful. Our early months, we're powerful. Early years, we're powerful. Every day of our life, we're powerful. And when we see our power, we see the power in our children. Our children are powerful. Our children are powerful. They're connected to their inner self more than we are. It's our conditioning that moves them away from it. If we want powerful children, we'll teach them to stay connected with their truth. We got to see our inner child as powerful so we can see our children as powerful and so we can see ourselves as powerful. Steve, can you repeat that? Anger is not healthy unless it's channeled to what? Express something? Steve, we were missing you earlier. Anger is healthy. Every emotion is healthy. Repressed anger is not healthy. And anger projected onto other people is not healthy. So Sporty Jen's dad, who was always projecting his anger on his children, not healthy. Not healthy. Sporty Jen's inner child's probably not an apples to apples comparison, but anybody feeling anger right now and recognizing there's conditions in there that isn't healthy and looking at how it empowers them to do powerful things, it's healthy. Not honoring our emotions is unhealthy. Honoring them is. Making ourselves victim to them is not. Allowing it to empower us to what the desires we have and calibrating to compassion is. Our emotions are a tool. Was I clear? Was that good? Andrea, wish your wisdom was in a quote book, Manal. You're so funny. I'm working on a bunch of things, and a book is one of them. Digital courses is one of them. So thank you, Andrea. Gary, I love that. Even though it's too sporty, Jen, does it help to know that we love you? We do love her. I do love her. Okay, where am I? Andrea, wish your... Okay, we said that. Marissa, my mom has always taken my power away, and as an adult, I've been healing this, but it feels like staying connected to her keeps me ill. Marissa, that's really interesting because there's times in your life that you're going to have to do the dance because your mom is your mom, and just having love and respect and honor for the woman that brought you into the life feels good, and it feels bad to be disconnected from people. It just feels bad. I've seen it over and over and over in families and families and families that when there's a disconnection, it doesn't feel natural and it feels bad. However, you do need to calibrate, tether. Who used the word tether earlier? Was it Rita? Tether, be tethered, so your mom's ill does not make you ill. Your mom's anger does not keep you from who you are. So do the dance until you figure out how you can stay and what the right balance is. And if the balance at some points is not talking to her for a week or two, fine. A month or two, not. I mean, who am I to say what time is okay? Only you know, but tether to your inner power and use your mom as a tool to show how strong your muscles are. You got that, Marissa? Does that feel good? Because I only want what I say to feel good. And if it doesn't, tell me. Steve, how I didn't know it though, not an excuse. He was probably enraged. Yes, he was enraged. He was enraged. And then once you can start to calibrate and calibrate and calibrate to honoring everything you experienced and then going to compassion is the journey you're on, Steve. It's the journey that you're on. That you see the rage, you see the anger. Nothing is excused. Did I ever say I excuse or they're excused? No, we said it wasn't good, but I feel sorry for them, and which is sympathy, which moves me to compassion. I said must not have been easy. I didn't even use sympathy. I said compassion. It must not have been easy to be the person they were. That's compassion. Compassion, compassion. Marissa, thank you for your gift. I appreciate compassion. So the name of the game, I think I've said that today, is compassion. Every time we can shift to anything to compassion, it frees us. Compassion is the tool of freedom. Good. Andrea, a real book would be great. Fantastic. Sporty Jen, at Gary and Manal, everyone. Yes, it does. It helps me as a near whole person. Thank you, as a nearly whole person. And Andrea, we're also going to have quotes of what everybody says in here too. Oh my God, some of my favorite quotes. Who was it that said, Gary, how come I can't think of her name? That when I said, what do you do when you feel emotional? Ren, it was Ren. What do you do when you feel emotional? And she said, eat. And it was just so perfectly, like brilliantly lovely and true. What do you do when you feel bad? And she was like, first one, it was like, eat. And I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Oprah taught us. Oprah taught us. Marissa, thank you. This validates what I've been working on. Fantastic, fantastic. When it feels good to call your mom, call your mom. When it feels good to call your dad, call your dad. When it doesn't feel good to call your mom, don't call your mom. When it doesn't feel good to call your dad, don't call your dad. Or your mom. I already did your dad, now your mom. When it feels good to call your adult children, call them. When it doesn't feel good to call them, don't call them. When it feels good to speak to your partner, speak to them. I mean, partner is different because you see them every day. But again, engaging on a certain topic, engage. If it doesn't feel good, don't engage. Don't engage. Honor yourself and honor your journey. And your boundaries, again, I don't know if I scheduled the boundary one, but boundaries are here to teach us to keep, this big statement. But anyway, make the boundaries that you need to keep you grounded within yourself. The stronger we are, the less boundaries we need. And that doesn't mean that people abuse us more. It means that we don't see it as abuse and we're resilient to what goes on around us. We become resilient to the external. Powerful to the external. Good, Marissa? Good? Good, 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 good. Good? how many times could I say good? Okay, so how's everybody feeling? Obviously, you can see that I'm feeling good. I am feeling good. How is everybody feeling? I take that silence as fabulous. Everybody is feeling fabulous. I scheduled stuff for the future. So let's see. Today is about homeostasis. 12/12 at 1 p.m. Dealing with loss. Dealing with loss. I've actually already been reflecting on it, and I know it's going to be very, very powerful. 12/6 next week. I think it's Tuesday at 9:30. Today's Monday. Nancy, you always make me feel good. Thank you. Oh, that's so sweet. And Andrea says she's feeling well. Fantastic. Okay, so quieting the monkey mind. So Greg, that was a nod to you. You guys know me. I usually wouldn't put an adjective like that. Quieting the monkey mind. 12/9, which I believe is a Thursday. Does that make sense? No, it might be a Friday. There was something going on Thursday. Anyway, overcoming anxiety about your health. I've also been reflecting on that, and it's going to be really interesting. Very interesting. And then 12/13 at 9:30, which I believe is a Tuesday again. This one is going to be fun. Laughter as a tool for healing. Laughter. One of those last live streams that we just laughed the whole time. So that joke that you made about ruminating, Gary, I don't even remember what the question was. About ruminating, we will talk about all the jokes. Bring your laughter, bring your reflection on life, bring the things that make you feel good, make you laugh, and we'll just laugh and talk about how laughter is really a conduit. And why laughter? Because it lets go of the resistance and it works on the emotional body, and it boom, and breaks it down. Sort of like a Vitamix. I don't know why I'm shaking a Vitamix, because it's a blender, but laughter is like a Vitamix. Takes it all, purees it, and makes it into a smoothie. Terrible analogy, but we're gonna go with it. It's freeing, a release, sporty. Oh, laughter is so fantastic. I love laughter. I love the laughter just comes in tears and makes you cry. I just love laughter. Fantastic. Okay, any topics that anybody wants? Does everybody feel complete? Bring on the jokes. Gary, everybody feeling complete. Any topics that I could write in my handy dandy notebook? I'm bringing out my handy dandy notebook. Blues Clues. I can't believe that Blues Clues always does inspire me. Any topics that anybody would like? Anything that anybody desires? Anything that anybody wants? Authentic. Time as a topic. Yes, I have that written, but it's sort of out of my... Yes, time, Mary Alice, and you've asked it before. Okay, time. I have it, and I've highlighted it in my handy dandy notebook. Was there written, but it was the way that my handy dandy works is that things get overlapped. I have time. I will do time on the week of 12/13, whatever day I do it that day. I will do time, Mary Alice, and it's one of my favorite topics. Fantastic. Maureen, I'm feeling so complete and happy. Thank you. How to be most authentic. I like that, Andrea. I like that. Authenticity in life. How to be authentic. Beautiful. Got it. Lady Peacock, when are you back on Insight Timer? In which way, Lady Peacock? The next one? My next one is this Friday. No, yes, Gary, we did have an evil Manal. She had a moment today. I don't remember what she said, but she came out for a very quick moment. Does anybody remember? Had something to do... I don't remember. Singing, I almost sang, but they didn't have words for the lyrics. Do you guys remember I had? Lady Peacock, when are you back on Insight Timer? In terms of, I have this week again. This week we will be on 12/2 at 1 p.m. on Friday, dealing with loss. Sporty Jen, yeah, I talked about my son or something. I did have a moment, Gary. Manal came out. She came out. She came out. Yes, my son. That's good enough. Things don't need to be perfect. Oh, Nancy, I like that. Okay, I'm going to put up a new page. Good enough. I like when we have phrases like that. Things don't need to be perfect. It was my daughter. There we go. Yes, yes. Yes, Mary Alice, I think so. Oh, it was me saying, and now I remember, it was me saying, oh, goodness, a pity party, or it wasn't a pity party, it was something like that I had referred to. Oh, woe is me. When I said, oh, woe is me, you're having a woe is me comment, moment did not land well, and the evil Manal came out. Woe is me. Oh, goodness gracious. They don't let me out sometimes. Woe is me. Yes, Mary Alice, you got it. Fantastic. Okay, good. So I wrote those down. Any other topics? And Lady Peacock, did I answer your question? Woe is me. Lady Peacock, did I answer? Sporty Jen, I was close. Well done, Mary Alice. Yes, Sporty Jen, you were close. It was about my children. And that's why I went around with it, because I remember it had to do. Friday, Lady Peacock, beautiful Lady Peacock. It is Friday, dealing with loss. Friday at 1, dealing with loss. And then 12/6, which I think is the Tuesday after, quieting the monkey mind. And then 12/9, overcoming anxiety about your health. And I think 12/9 is a Friday. I should write it down when I write my calendars. I used to trust my memory and by the end of these, like, I can't even remember. Steve, what did you think of loss? I didn't choose that topic. Why did you think of loss? It wasn't my topic. Lady Peacock, I hope to see you. But loss, we're always all talking about loss, and it's a big one. It's a big one. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to shrink it down to understand its lowest common denominator impact on ourselves, so we can understand it, see it, love it, and let it go. Like we do. Everything is break it down and break it down and break it down into that key lime pie. Andrew, I'll keep tissue box handy. Oh my goodness, this sounds scary now, guys. It won't be. We've done big topics and we've done them really well. We've talked about death and we've done really well. We will do fantastic. I believe in us. I believe it's scary now. I'm coming out with my little songs. I believe in us. Okay, fantastic. I feel whole. I feel convergence. I love you all. You all just impress me so much on how you are willing to go in and be free. You are beautiful. I love you. I love your power. I love your humor. I love your wisdom. I love your laughter. I love your lightness. I love your desire to just grow and expand. I love your willingness to look in your past and overcome. I love your active homeostasis, that despite what's going on in the external, you're going to look internally and calibrate to a desire that feels good, your authentic self, to alignment, to beauty, to celebration, to calm, to groundedness, to tetheredness, to balance, to flow. I love it. And a lot of new people and questions, says Gary. That's fantastic. And Maureen says, gosh, you're so good, Manal. Thank you. Andrea, you have blessed my life so much. Thank you, Andrea. You have all blessed my life so much. If you only know how you've allowed my voice to come up and my voice to be, and my throat chakra was closed up, and now my throat chakra feels alive and vivid and inspired and feel connected, and I feel true. I feel so true, aligned with my truth. Steve, calibrate, when you say that means change your mind perception. Calibrate to me means to attune, to change the channel, to change your mind, like you said, change your perception, to shift it from anger to compassion. When we look at the past and see, ooh, my dad was really angry, and then look at and recalibrate it to say, oh, he must have really had a really sad life. He's of what the meaning of calibrate is. What's that topic? Calibrate? What's that? What would we label it? Somebody help me. What would we call it? What would we call it? Gary, to allow a little positive energy in. Yes, Mary Alice, to allow flow. Shift, no clue. We'd call it gradually flow. We'd call it gradually flow. Come on, guys, something that's going to welcome you and say how to calibrate your life. Calibrating to something. That's good, Andrea. Calibrating to surrender, to acceptance, calibrating to happiness, calibrating to... You need understanding to calibrate. Yes, Andrea. Calibrating your authentic life. Calibrating your authentic life. Calibrating to your authentic life. And then we have authenticity in there. How's that, guys? Calibrating to your authentic life. Do we like that? Shifting would be good. Shifting perspectives. How's that? How's that? Good? Andrea, I also like your highest potential. Calibrating to your highest potential. I know it doesn't get to what Steve was saying, is just talking about what is calibrating, which is more, if we use shifting perspectives, then it speaks to what shifting perspective calibration is your tool. How's that? There's like 3 topics now. Calibrating to your authentic life, which is different than calibrating to your highest potential. One is you're speaking and living authentically. The other one is max performance. So I want them as 2 different ones. And then shifting perspective, calibration as your tool, or calibrating as your tool. Does that satisfy everybody? Thank you, Manal. I have some homework to do. Feeling easier now, and just want to say how I really value this group and your guiding light. Sending hugs to everyone. Fantastic. A moment of group hugs. Sporty Jen, I love you. Steve, it's really about empowering thyself. Steve, that's going to be another one. Empowering thyself. Love it. Some of these guys are going to be in January. December is getting full up, and I think I'm going to take some time off for the holidays. Yes, to your authentic life and highest potential. Calibration to me, it means tuning in. Okay, Nancy, that's a good one. Tuning into self. Tuning into self. Wow, you guys are fantastic, and you're doing my work for me. My work for me. But actually, these topics are fun when we put a play on something. That's good. Nancy, that's fantastic. Steve. And also requires awareness. Without it, you just can't do it. Oh my God. That's a great one too. Awareness. Without it, you just can't do life. How's that as a topic, guys? Awareness. Without it, you can't do life. That's a good one. Steve, you're on a run today. Sporty Jen. Pressing the default button from negative thoughts. Pressing the default button. Pressing the default button from negative thoughts. How about from negative to empowering thoughts? How's that? Tuning my inner light. Andrea, calibration to me means tuning my inner light up. Tuning into self. Tuning into inner light. Okay, I wrote that down, and we'll see what comes out. Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, you guys, we just wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 topics. That takes us well into January. Fantastic. Okay, you are all absolutely brilliant. I appreciate every moment with every single one of you. You just impress me more than anything. Oh no, I'll have a million questions about negative thoughts. We will take them on until we shift into empowering ones, Gary. We will take them on. Bring on the thoughts. Bring them on. Okay. Get in the queue, Gary. There we go. There we go. Our minds are brilliant. I'm just going to say what we said in meditation. Our minds are brilliant. It's our bodies that are telling ourselves something, and we need to shift or calibrate the way that we see it all. We got it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, fantastic. So I got the hearts. I got the laughter. And you are all absolutely brilliant. Okay, guys, we will see you on Friday. We will talk about loss. We will smile. We will cry. We will do whatever we need to do to let go of that resistance and shift back internally. Sporty Jen, love ending in a laugh. Me too. And I really love that this topic became much richer than even I expected. I was sort of worried about it to be true. I forget who recommended. I was going to look up to see who requested this topic. Oh, I should write it down in my handy dandy notebook. When I put it in my handy dandy notebook, if I write your names next to it, I'll remember. Next time, I'll start next time. That actually is brilliant. You know, I love brilliant ideas. So when I do it, I will be actually not count on my memory, which is fantastic. I love my memory, but it will be actually written down and documented. Fantastic. Okay, guys, you are brilliant. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. We will see you on Friday, if not next week. Join Attaining Your Authentic Life. Keep the conversation going. We've been flowing more. Andrea, I love this group, and we love you, Andrea. I love every single one of you. Keep looking and connecting with your inner light. Your inner light is strong, and it's stronger than any external experience that you have experienced, you will experience, or is experiencing. That was really poor English, but you get exactly what I mean. We will see you later on. My love, always. Don't forget to go to my website, sign up for my newsletters, and follow me. Instagram, Facebook, InsightTimer, and YouTube.